Today we're working on the SLUG today, and this is what I'm trying to accomplish. Cherry bombs. I'm trying to quiet this thing down just a tiny little bit. They were just straight Zoomies with no mufflers in them. I tried silencers in the tips. That didn't work. It actually blew a few of them out. There's so much air flowing through here. These are about 2 1/8 inch pipes. So I found some Cherry Bomb brand glass packs straight through, so they shouldn't have any back pressure on them. And well, let's see how this works out. So I got this side done, and I had to move this pipe too to make it clear because of the way the Chrysler's set up. It is a Chrysler big block. And here's my disaster. So I'm trying my best to keep them at the angles that I set them at here. I got the top mocked up, so I'm doing the bottom now. I'm going to get rid of this brace here that I had because it keeps cracking around here and making a mess. So I'm going to come up with something that'll hold this tight but let them move a little bit and not weld it to the pipes, because when you weld, of course, you create a weak spot around the edges of the weld. So something that'll clamp in place and let them flex. So let's do this. So here's the old piece here, pretty mangled up. Okay, it's all mocked up. Let's see. Got it all pretty much mocked up. Got to try to get these as centered in here as I could. I actually had one of these here, got for 10 bucks. Of course, it didn't last very long, but you can open up the diameter of the pipe a little bit with them. They sell them pretty much anywhere. I got this Harbor Freight for 10 bucks, or you can get the same one somewhere else for like 40. But it came with extra rubber bands to hold it together. But that way I could swedge these open a hair just to fit a little tighter in here. And it should be all pretty straight the way it was. And like I said, I'll get rid of this when I'm all done welding it. So I need to set it back on there. And then the frame right here, I had it notched here for the rear pipe because they come here and they get a little closer as it comes in. So I might just notch the frame in this section, because under hard acceleration, even with my homemade ball joint straps on here, this thing still flexes. I like to run rubber bushings still, so I don't shake everything apart. But it'll flex a little bit, just enough to bump that on the other side anyway. This side will lift, but the other side will bump. And so let's try this out. Alright, here's the frame cut out. So the headers I've always wanted to get more room, so I wanted to notch it. Bent this little thing up. I'll just stick that thing in there like that. I'll tack it in and I give it some room for those headers to flex. And there it is. Already. Get the headers in there. It's in there. Just grind it down, make it look nice. Alright guys, the exhaust system's done on this thing, and let me crank this up, see if it's, so far it sounds a lot quieter to me. I'm sure you won't be able to tell on your end, but here's how it looks in the sunshine. So I got the cherry bombs in there. I can notice a huge difference. I can actually listen to it without earplugs now. And then I had to notch the frame behind it to give them a little more room, cleaned up the holes that the brackets had ripped through. So I got a bracket behind it back here, and it's tied in to the mufflers here in the lower section right across. And I got my suction tube here for crankcase, both sides. It works really good. And just at idle, I can suck a piece of paper right to the top of that thing. That's how good one pipe flows. But when you put these in, you need to put them at a slight angle too, with a sharp cut, so it'll draw air past it. And yeah, so far that's good. Let's crank this thing up. I did warm it up a little bit. Oh, that thing sounds nothing like a blower, man, with the throttle response. Man, that is awesome. But that's it for this video shoot. Got my cherry bombs on there, so it is a lot quieter, so I'm more inclined to crank that up around here and drive it around a little bit more. Because I really hate bugging my neighbors, and I don't want to get in trouble with the law. You know what I mean? The best I can anyway. And that will be about it. Thanks for watching.